Hello and what is up, my little fish balls? Today we are reviewing A Summer's End, Hong Kong 1986, which comes to us from developer and publisher Oracle and Bone. A Summer's End is a visual novel that tells the story of Sam and Michelle, the two main protagonists in the story, and their budding summer romance. So Michelle is the narrator of the story. She is fresh out of college. She has her first full-time job, and she is just ambitious and looking to make it in the world in the 1980s. But she is also quite straight-laced. She lives with her mom, and she really does not like to go out of her comfort zone. After a tragic heel-breaking incident, she meets Cobbler's daughter, Sam, who is quite literally the polar opposite of Michelle. She is free-spirited, she definitely has her own defined style, and she is always willing to try new things. This visual novel is, for the most part, pretty linear. However, there are some key choices that you have to make in your interactions with Sam that will define the end of the story. It should be noted that there is an adult patch that is a separate DLC that I was playing with turned on. Not literally, but you know what I mean. This patch adds 6 additional scenes that aren't entirely crucial to the story overall, but you are missing a little bit without it. I was a really big fan of the 1980s aesthetic of this game. It's very colorful, it has beautifully hand-drawn images, the character design is quite nice, and the anime inspiration really does shine through. There are over 400 of those hand-drawn images in this game, and it's really quite beautiful. While the scenes aren't actually animated, the characters' outfits and the locations that they live in really do tell a lot about who they are as people. A Summer's End has a really neat retro synth vaporwave soundtrack with some really well-known artists such as Timecop 1983. As a big fan of the retro synth wave genre, I was a little bit disappointed in the soundtrack. Not that it was bad by any means, I just had really high hopes for it when I saw the artists that were being featured, and it is, like I said, quite good, but a lot of the songs just loop fairly quickly and it does get a little bit repetitive at times. I didn't need for there to be vocals in these songs, and I didn't need a huge variety of songs. I just kind of needed the songs to go somewhere, and they never really did. It's also worth noting that there's no narration or voice acting whatsoever in this game, so if you're looking for someone to read you your story, this definitely isn't the visual novel for you. When I was told I was going to be playing a game with an adult patch and some possible nudity in it, I thought to myself, maybe this isn't the visual novel for me. But I have to say, the writing in this novel really did win me over. It is very well written. The characters' personalities do shine through in the writing, and you do really feel like you're getting to know someone, reading their thoughts and their interactions. Being set in the 1980s, the mindset of many of the people in this novel is not the same as it would be today, especially when it comes to LGBTQ plus content. The mother of Michelle is very clearly against any sort of deviant behavior, if you will. I don't think that Michelle feels comfortable expressing in any way that she would even possibly be attracted to a woman. I don't even know if she'd want to tell her mother that she was attracted to a man, to be honest, because it doesn't seem like they have a very open relationship. I just think that the dynamic between Michelle and her mother does such a good job of capturing how difficult that type of conversation was even 20, 30 years ago. The game also touches on difficult subjects like loss, particularly loss of a parent for both of the main characters, and it does so quite delicately and in a truly meaningful way. Personally, I didn't connect very well with Michelle so much as I did with Sam. Just a personal preference here, but I did find Michelle's kind of stuck in the mud attitude to be a little grating at times. I kind of wanted to push her myself to get out of her comfort zone and do something that she might enjoy. Half of the time it seemed like she had to literally be forced to have a good time, and in the moment she didn't even enjoy it until after the fact when she was reflecting on it. A Summer's End is truly a tale of opposites attracting. It is a slow burn to begin with, but it does heat up once it starts a burnin', let me tell you. It is currently available for $14.99 on Steam. As a whole, the game takes about 8 hours to complete. And if you're a fan of the 80s aesthetic, the retro synth soundtrack, or just a good old-fashioned love story, perhaps this is a visual novel that you should check out. Maybe not quite so old-fashioned, but it does have a lot of heart and the characters are quite compelling. I would say this is definitely a game that was made with love, about love. For more information on A Summer's End, check us out at MediaMoogle.net, where we also have our podcasts like Gamer Joe Radio Show and I Dream of Indie, and subscribe here on YouTube for more of our reviews, previews, and everything in between. If you really enjoyed our content, please feel free to donate at the link below, or check us out at patreon.com/MediaMoogle, where we have some enticing tiers. As always, we appreciate you, and thanks for watching.